What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. So for today's horror movie review, it's a film I've been talking about for well over a month now, almost 2 months, ever since we got the first trailer around mid-December. We did do a trailer review and reaction back on December 16th for this film, and then we recently did a horror news update for it on January 30th, which just, again, last week when we got a exclusive clip from the film ahead of its release date. It did drop on digital and POD, whatever you want to call it, on the 31st, which again was just a few days ago. I went ahead, I couldn't wait for this film. I've been looking forward to this film, purchased it as soon as it became available. So I'm going to give my review of the film. Again, as I've always said, this is just my perspective. My opinion. I would highly recommend you go watch any film or TV series for yourself to see if it's for you, if you like it, you dislike it. Again, this is just my particular taste of films and TV series. So, the film, The Devil and the Daylong Brothers, I'm going to give my rating right off the bat, and then we'll get into... Actually, no, I'll give the premise first, and then I'll give my score out of 5 about midway through. So if you don't know anything about this film already, it is directed by Brandon McCormick. It's also written by him, and the producers are Nicholas Kirk, Carl Hortzman, and Todd Slater. It is coming from distributor Quiver Distributions, and production company is Triple Horse Studios and Whitestone Motion Pictures. It is deemed, from what I've seen, various categories or genres that tied to this, but the one that I've seen most common used in various articles for this film is a gothic, Southern Gothic horror musical. And yes, it is a musical, but not a musical from the perspective of where you feel like every 10 to 15 minutes they break out into song. That's not how it is, but it does have its various musical aspects to it. So again, it is a musical, so go into it knowing that right up front, so you are not, if you are interested in watching this, you don't think to yourself, oh, I'm already starting it, and what's going on? Because it does start off... okay, so real quick, though, spoilers. I am going to get into details of this film. So again, spoilers. If you are looking forward to seeing this film, you are having this on your list, pause it, come back to this video, go watch the film, and then come back, drop a comment in the comment section, let me know what you think. Otherwise, again, we're getting into spoilers. So... the film, again, is a musical, and it starts off with its first musical note. That the film just starts off that way, and I thought it was very well placed for this film. It sets the tone, not just for the film, but it sets the tone for the three main actors for the film. So, the brothers, as you can see here on the screen, there's 3 brothers. There's Ishmael, Enosh, and Abraham, and the story or the premise for the film is they are 3 brothers, different moms, same father, and the father, who is played by Keith Carradine, who his name is Nehemiah Daylong. He sold their souls to the devil before they were born, and the film is about them tracking down their father in order to take their revenge, in order to get their souls back. Now, along the road, though, they are in a roundabout way working for the devil, and what they're doing is they are working for a character named Clarence, who's played by Mark Ashworth, who I thought played this character extremely well. And I would compare this character to, if you have ever seen the TV series Supernatural, like a crossroads demon, right? I would compare him to something like that. So he's the one that is kind of like the middleman that the 3 brothers are working for, and the 3 brothers are tracking down all those who have made a deal with the devil for their souls, and they're now, like, the devil is now collecting on that payment. He's like, yep, now you need to come down to hell, your time is up. And what they are doing is they are going out and fulfilling that request, or fulfilling that contract by taking out all these individuals. And they each one of them, along with the 3 brothers, have this mark or scar on them, and they are then collecting that portion of skin, giving it to Clarence. Clarence marks it off as, yep, that one's done, and Clarence makes them believe, or leads them to believe, that, hey, once you complete this list of individuals and you collect them all, then I'll tell you where your father is. But if we all know anything about the devil in itself, is known to be a liar, and that's exactly what happens. As the brothers are collecting these pieces of skin from this individual list of people, Clarence eventually tells them, yeah, I've been lying to you. Don't know where your dad is. But there is one person in the film that also leads them to believe who their father is. And while she may not know directly, she does have like a critical piece of the clue that the brothers eventually find out. So that individual is Rainey Qualley, who plays Frankie in the film. I will say I did not expect Frankie to meet her demise about halfway, almost 3/4 of the way through the film. I thought she was going to be one of those ones that got right up to the end and then she'd meet her demise. But no, she tries to fool the brothers as well, that she knows where the father is, but in a roundabout way doesn't. Again, she does have a piece of evidence or a piece of it's a vinyl, it's a small vinyl, and it's broken. And eventually the brothers figure out something that they were said or told, that it's referring back to this vinyl, which then leads them to the location of their father. Now, one thing about Frankie's character, though, she grew up with Abraham, because when they eventually find their way to Frankie, there's this moment where you find out that they grew up together. He left this compound, or this little group of individuals, and she was left behind, and she's always held that against him. Now, one thing that she does do is she does try to play on the emotions of the brothers, especially Enosh, and she had him dead at one point. She had him dead to rights, and she obviously didn't do anything about it, but she did try to play Abraham and Enosh a bit. Enosh more than any of the brothers. Now, I would say of I think the three of them, the three actors who play the brothers, great dynamic on the film. They definitely fed off of each other. They definitely were, I think, the right castings to play each one of these characters. Done very well. Now, I don't think this movie is going to be for everybody. Again, it's very much in the backwoods South, very Southern, as far as the musical aspects to this film, the musical notes, the environment, everything about how they talk, how people live. It's very much backwoods Southern, which I absolutely loved. I know some people might think, well, we've seen that played out in other aspects. I don't think we've seen a film quite like this played out. Again, thinking that it's a gothic horror, it's based in the South, and it's a musical, I would dare anyone to point me to another horror film that meets all that criteria. I don't think there is one. Now, again, I mentioned the best parts are, for me, the standouts are the musical notes, the fact that this definitely has that revenge thriller aspect to it, because again, they're working their way through a list to try to get to their father in order to take their revenge on him for something he did. Now, I do think, though, that again, some people will believe that the worst parts of this film are going to be the environment itself. I don't think so. I thought the environment played very well into what the film was trying to achieve, and I loved it. I thought this was a very entertaining film. I love the wackiness to it. I love the style to it. Again, if you're asking me, I would highly recommend this film to anyone who wants to see something new, something different within the horror genre. For me personally, I'm giving this one a 4 to a 4.5 out of 5. I really enjoyed the film. Again, this is not going to be for everybody. However, I do recommend that you, if you are a horror fan and you are liking the new stuff that's been coming out, the new approaches, independent stories, then definitely check this one out. Again, watch it though. Don't go into this film trying to compare it to other horror films across the genre or within any other subgenre of horror. Go into this film in a silo, watch it for what it is, watch it for the premise it is, and I think you'll enjoy it if you are a horror fan. Again, it's not for everybody, but for me, I absolutely enjoyed it. I thought it was worth the purchase price that I purchased it for. And it's not a one and done for me. I could go back and watch this film multiple times and not really get bored of it, because again, it's one of those films that hits for me. I mentioned before, if you were to take the aspects of the film from like Hell or High Water, a bit of Supernatural, a bit of Justified, and now some of that happens in like Justified happens within the South. Add all that together, horror, musical, this is what I think you're going to get, something like this. And again, I absolutely enjoyed it. So highly recommend you check it out. Like I said, 4.5 for me out of 5. I'll definitely be watching it again. It is available for streaming on Plex. I wouldn't go that route, because the number of ads that pop up in that, it takes away from the viewing experience, in my opinion. But you can also rent it or buy it on Amazon Prime now, or you can also do the same if you buy through Apple. You can buy it or rent it through there. And I think on Apple, I think they've changed it where you have up to 30 days if you rent it to finish watching it. So if you don't have time to watch the full thing, you can do it there. So that's my high-level review summary of the film for The Devil and the Daylong Brothers. Again, 4 to 4.5 out of 5 for me. Really enjoyed the film. Again, it is a Southern horror gothic musical. I don't think you would ever thought of hearing that sentence or all those terms put together when you're describing a horror movie, but that's exactly what it is. So if you have seen it, drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Let me know what your rating is. If you haven't seen it, let me know if it was one of those films on your list that you do plan to see, and then come back again, drop a comment in the comment section. If you haven't done so already, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And to all new and existing subscribers, thank you so much for all the support. It is greatly appreciated. And we will see you at the next one. Peace.